Unsolicited advice.
What you whispering for? Yo, what's unsolicited advice? Take it or leave it.
Have you ever had one of those coworkers that is just absolutely obsessed with getting you in trouble at work? And then you just end up confused because you're like, what did I ever do to you? Well, you want to know why they target you? A lot of times, this happens because you are known as self-directed. I was reading this article today that talks about this phenomenon. What happens is most people come to work and they have to be told what to do. They don't take initiative for themselves, and they don't take initiative to make change for the organization for the better. But self-directed employees, they don't need to be told what to do. They come to work and they can figure it out for themselves what needs to be done. They don't care about the social hierarchy, and they don't care about fitting in. And your coworkers actually become very envious about your ability to function this way. Because self-directed employees get a lot of praise. Because they are also known as risk takers. They are not afraid to stand up to management about what they believe in. They challenge the status quo. And all of these things result in you being more successful. And your coworkers become envious of that, and they start trying to bring you down. They can't do what you do, so they're going to try to get rid of you instead. And that's why it happens.
Yeah, we all got them, and we all want to kick their ass, or we all want them gone, and for some reason our bosses keep them around. We don't know why. We've seen a lot of good people leave our jobs. We've seen a lot of, and we've seen a lot of these, workplace issues go unanswered. And, I'm here to talk about it today because, we all go through it. We all have our stories, workplace stuff that go on right now, or maybe you had to leave a job because they didn't do anything about it, or you got fired because of a work snitch or something stupid. It's just always something. I've been through it, and I'm sure you have too. But, we're going to get into it. And like I said, the number one issue, which if you watch that video, it's usually like work snitches. Work snitches, that's someone that tells, their co-workers, and spread rumors, or they always go into authority figures about things because they think that they have seniority or some type of cachet with them. They often do things just to either cause trouble or insecurity. Usually, they have some type of fear. They fear you, or they fear something going on with you. Maybe you're just good at your job, and they fear they're not going to get the attention, or they fear that they may get fired because you're better at your job than they are, or whatever it may be. Or maybe you just, maybe you just the queen bee at your job, or king dingling at your job, and they don't like that people like you or whatever. It could be a lot of things, but most of the time they motivated by jealousy, revenge, or just the desire to appear better than their co-workers. A lot of times it's just a bunch of unnecessary stuff. A lot of us are just there to do our jobs and try to have fun with the people that we get along with. That's it. We don't want no smoke, but for some reason they want the smoke. Another thing that you have to deal with workplace issues. You know what? Let me back it up. Let me give you some advice on the work snitch. I've worked at the lowest positions, and I've worked at the highest positions. I've been an operations manager. I've been a group home manager. I've been a supervisor. I've been a lead on several projects. The one thing I learned being a boss is, the work snitch is worse than the person that did the incident, because a work snitch is bad for business. They're the one, for one reason, they keep the morale down. You can never get anybody to work with them. They keep the morale down because every time they come around, nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to be around them. People don't want to be at work. The first thing that I remember they used to ask me is such and such going to be there? Oh, I don't know if I'm going to come in today. Who I got to work with. I don't want to work with them. You know, or they'll come running to the office. Hey, you need to get rid of them. And so, like I said, a work snitch is bad business. You know, I'd rather get rid of the work snitch than the person that made a mistake. Because if the person that made a mistake, we can correct that. They call it corrective action. We can have a verbal, you know, a verbal write-up or whatever. I go through the steps. And then that'll let me know from there on if they are a bad fit or not for the job, if they learned their lesson. A work snitch? No. Work snitches, they're doing it to keep a job, because that's the only way they've been at their job as long as they've been there. Because they keep you know, the supervisors or personnel, you know, off their scent, you know, so they can focus on you and what you're doing. So yeah, that's why. But that's my advice. You know, best thing to do with a work snitch, just, hey, keep a record, just like they do at your job. And you got to do notes and stuff like that. Keep a record on them too. Videos, whatever you need. You know, don't entertain anything that they do. Don't threaten them. Don't say, hey, you know, leave me the fuck alone. Whatever you say to them, don't say nothing. Be professional about it. You wanna get to a work snitch. It's like chess. You know, you got to be 10, 20 steps ahead of them. You know, you can even go up to them and say, I know that, you know, I want you to know that I know. I know you got it out for me. And I got my eye on you too. You know, hey, you just let them know that you know. And then from then on there, like I said, you keep paperwork, videotapes, whatever it is that you need. And then the moment they try it, you already 10, 20 steps ahead of them. Another workplace issue a lot of people deal with in jobs is communication gaps, not communicating properly. Lack of clear communication, of course, or unclear expectations, poor information sharing. You know, usually that leads to like confusion and frustration among employees, not knowing that you were supposed to come to work, or not knowing about a new policy, or not knowing that certain things are mandatory. You know, just lack of communication overall. You know, not knowing that you got to work overtime, or you got to do holidays, or not knowing that they didn't approve your vacation time. You know, that's a big one. You know, not communicating that they messed up your paycheck. You know, not communicating with you ahead of time and letting you know that they come up with a correction to it or whatever. Any type of communication gap at work can cause people to leave, to quit, to be rebellious, to make the workplace worse, keeping the morale down. That's a big workplace issue. That might be number one. I thought the work snitch was, but that one might, you know, lack of communication may be number one. Another workplace issue is work/life imbalance, meaning you don't have a balance with your work and your personal life. So, you know, a lot of times when you're feeling overwhelmed because of, you know, your work hours, you disconnecting from work, and you're also disconnecting outside of work hours. You know, it's impacting your work life and your personal life. Some of y'all might be going through relationship or marriage issues, things like that. That's impacting it. Financial issues can impact your work and life balance. But those are some workplace issues. You can always tell when somebody's going through some stuff. Things just ain't the same. You come in, they ain't moving the same way. And I'm not saying to get in people's business, but sometimes people just need you, you know, to come to them so they can talk to you. Or, you know, maybe just, you know, let them know everything's going to be okay. That's the best advice I can give you on that one. The communication one, I can't necessarily give you too much advice. It's just more staying on people's asses about what they need to do. But that work-life thing, it can be very unbalanced, because a lot of people are stressed and a lot of people aren't happy. A lot of things aren't in place. When you're constantly on that hamster wheel and everything ain't in order, work-life balance is always off. Another workplace issue is lack of training. They always want you to do things that you haven't been trained to do, but try to make it seem like it's part of your job description. So I always say, whenever you start a job, make sure you look at that job description, take a picture of it, study it, memorize it, whatever you need, because you're going to definitely definitely have more labels put on you. They're going to put more labels on you. The moment you're hired, everything changes. You'll start like, hold on, this ain't what you talked about. Oh yeah, well, this is what you need me for. What I need you for. They might hire you for first shift. You know, you done went and got your fingerprints done. You done got your TB shot. You done got all your medical records up to date. You done took your piss test, everything. You know, you done spent all this time, a whole month, not getting paid. You start your job. Oh, well, I got you down for third for right now. I'll get you on first when I get you. So it's just one of those things where you have to make sure that they're training you, that you hold them accountable. If they're not training you properly, you say, hey, I need training. I'm not going to do this until I get certified on training on it. Don't ever do something that you're not certified on, because I guarantee you, if something goes wrong, you're going to get pulled into the office when they do an investigation. So think about it like that. Don't sign your name on stuff. Another thing I experienced being a boss is that you have a lot of employee burnout. Employees get burned out real quick. You know, long hours, high workload, lack of support, lack of appreciation. You know, that means the product is going to decrease. And this goes for any type of job that you're doing. The product is not going to be good if the employees aren't happy at their jobs. So I know I used to implement at least every Friday or every other Friday. I would pay for lunch. I would go buy lunch. I also would leave my office open if somebody needed a mental health break. They'd come in my office because I usually have my lights dimmed. I probably have like music going. There's a TV in there. I probably have snacks in there, just whatever. I would always keep snacks in there. They come get it if they don't have lunch. They can come in my office and grab a snack, and something to drink. So, and I also would make it a point to acknowledge people that are busting their butts and doing good. Always show appreciation. That's how you get production out of an employee. If you can't afford to give them a bonus or a raise or some type of compensation to show your appreciation, the least thing you can do is put them on a pedestal and let everybody know, look, this is the employee of the month or the employee of the year, or this person has been busting their butt. They've been showing, what it means to work here. I'm going to give them this gift card, or, you want to do something nice for them. You want to always show everybody. Even if you just coming up to their workstation, say, hey, I just want to let you know, man, you've been doing great. I appreciate you, working hard. Always say thank you. Always say I appreciate you. That little bit is the difference between them saying yes to you and saying no to you. When you need them to do something. Most people that are good workers, they're going to work for you as long as they know that you appreciate them. They don't mind coming into work. They don't mind coming to work with you. Trust me, it goes a long way. So never forget that. Employees get burnt out real quick. Another workplace issue, of course, is workplace harassment. So whether it's bullying, whether they're discriminating, whether they're doing offensive, obscene behavior, just a toxic work environment. It's okay to have fun. We all have fun. We all joke around at work. But always pay attention to who you're joking around with. Some people don't play. Some people don't want to have fun the way you have fun. Some people don't want to joke the way you joke. So you always got to make sure that you know your crowd, know the people around you. Stick to the ones that can take a joke or can, you can hang out and goof off a little bit. Now as far as that other stuff, you might want to be careful. You don't want to be inappropriate with somebody. You don't want to be sexually inappropriate. You don't want to be verbally inappropriate. You got to be careful with that. And there's a lot of workplace bullying too. That goes back to the work snitch or people that just do stuff intentionally to you and that you haven't done anything to them. Stuff like that needs to be reported. My advice about that is, for one, don't let nobody do you any kind of way. Be be professional and let them know, look, I'm not doing it. Or no, You're not finna treat me this way. We can go into the office and we can talk to the boss, but I'm not doing what you tell me to do, or I'm not doing this way. No, I'm grown. You're not finna bully me. So, and as far as discrimination, hey, I would just say lawyer up on that one. You might have a class action suit. Who knows? Depending on how they're discriminating towards you. But yeah, we discussed this earlier a little bit, but overwhelming workload. Overwhelming workload can be very dangerous. Putting too much on somebody just because they're a great worker is not productive. It's not productive at all. And then you wonder why production goes down, why the quality goes down, because you're putting all your worker bees or your best workers, you putting them to work too much. You allowing the people that slack off to do whatever they want to do. But you're just going to keep leaning on the person that's working hard? No, you can't do that. You can't overload them with work. That's not fair. If anything, you need to be rewarding them with less work and using them when you absolutely need them, because they've already proved that they can do anything at that job you need them to do. You need to get the other ones on that level. That's how that works. You need to get the other ones on that level. But not acknowledging that stuff too. Like I said, contributing, the contributions and stuff that they do. That stuff leads to lack of morale and motivation. All this stuff connects, trust me. But the workplace issues, there's so many that goes on. I'm sure y'all can tell me several horror stories. And please put them in the comments if you have them. But a lot of people deal with workplace issues, and I'm telling you, it's not like it used to be. I remember I used to just go to work, I do my job, everybody does their job, and they go home. But now it's all about mental health. I need to take a mental health break or a mental health day. I need to, every time I turn around, somebody's on vacation. It's like, God, how the hell you get all these vacation hours? Like, where does this stuff come from? Where you get vacation hours from? Damn, you just went on vacation. How are you making money? But, it's neither here nor there. Another thing that people deal with is office politics. I've been a victim of that several times. I was recently a victim of that at my last job, where, I was only there for like 3 weeks, and they put me through so much crap. And a lot of stuff I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to learn everybody's names. I'm still trying to learn how they want me to run the building, even though they told me I need to run it how I want to run it. And if you know about that one. Always telling you, hey, do things your way, but do it my way. So, yeah. But office politics can be crazy, A lot of times they put you through unhealthy competition with another person. Of course, they click up. They show favoritism. It's just, and then, you have a lot of power struggles. One person is telling you this, another person telling you that, and you don't know who to listen to. And it's just one of those things where it's like, it don't have nothing to do with you. It's just nothing, they don't have no structure. They don't have no order or no structure. So like I said, my advice to that is you do what you know is best to do. At the end of the day, you do what you know is best to do. And like I said, just keep receipts. Keep receipts on everything, because when they come to you about some bullshit, you make sure you have your stuff correct. Say, nope. Let's walk this back and let's start with the first thing. So, but yeah, people deal with that stuff all the time. It's just office politics always ruin a great job. It does, because some people, it's like people have this obsession with power and wanting to be in charge of everybody, and it's gotten to the point now where it's just like, it makes it so unhealthy to be at work. But lastly, I want to talk about diversity and inclusion. So lack of representation, or creating an environment that doesn't feel welcoming to employees, from different backgrounds or different disabilities. It's not right. Now, yeah, some jobs you have to be careful about who you hire, of course, because some jobs have security clearances and certain things. You have to be proficient in certain things. But I remember I was a diversity hire one time, and I was like, oh, they just hired me because I'm a guy and they need a guy. And I remember I was at oh my God, social service. I was a social service, social worker. So they hired me. It was about 2008. They hired me because it was like, we need more men in this position. And I was young. I was about 28 then. So I was young, They looked at it as the perfect situation. So I'm like, yeah, God, finally I'm not getting discriminated. There's no racism going on. People are giving me an opportunity. And it was a great job too at the time. It was a great job at the time. I got a company car, a company laptop, and a company phone, and as long as I did my 20 hours a week, I had a 20-hour-a-week salary. I was already salaried, so it didn't matter as long as I did 20 hours. Man, I thought I was balling. It was good money too. But I didn't realize they hired me because I was a young black male. And when you're dealing with child protective services, that's gold. Because what you're doing is you're giving them access to certain parents and kids that they couldn't reach. And at the time, I didn't understand. I didn't understand my power at the time. I was just doing everything that I was told. So I didn't realize I was a diversity hire. And I remember one of the ladies got me fired from that job because I was doing too well with one of the kids that she couldn't get through to. She couldn't get through to the parent or the kid, but I got through them on the first day. And that was only because it was a comfort thing. And, that's all I'm going to say, that helped. But I just was doing my job. I thought it was a good thing. It's like, hey, I'm helping, I'm helping y'all, with filling our quotas and making money. I don't mind doing this. It don't matter what type of kids you give me. Black, white, Asian, Latino, I don't care. But I was a diversity hire. And sometimes they do, you have to be careful about that. Now, things have gotten better. Things have gotten way better now. You see a lot more diversity at jobs and things like that. But that could still be a workplace issue because some people like things the way that they are. They don't want any type of change. Some of them fear having certain cultures, at their business because they either don't understand the culture or some of them are just scared of it. So you just have to be careful when it comes to stuff like that. And my advice is always, whenever you do the interview, you tell them to give you a tour of the building, a tour of what you're going to be doing. Get to meet the people that you're working with. That'll tell you a lot about if you need to be there or not. Like I said, just because you're having an interview does not mean that they're not being interviewed too. Remember that one. But, that's just some workplace issues that people deal with. There's always a solution to things, but the number one solution is keep your head, be calm, have a plan before you react to something. Give it a minute. Go home, think about it first, then come back later with a solution. But that's just my unsolicited advice. You can take it or leave it.